Right, folks, back with another for fuck's sakes, and let's not fuck about. Luke Thomas, absolutely brilliant. What a debut for him. Tricky Dicky at work, he read the team sheet out to me. I had to fill some paperwork in, and I was sitting at the desk, and he, do you want to know the team sheet? I'm thinking, oh God, I don't know whether I do or not, Dick, to be fair. Because after the debacle that happened at Bournemouth, I was really not looking forward to this one, to be fair. Because let's face it, Sheffield United, they are a bit of a physical side. They're a bit of an old Wimbledon thing, aren't they? You know, but with a bit more about them, kind of thing. If you know what I mean. And that's not an insult to Sheffield, because obviously Wimbledon, you know, they did massive things. And so I wasn't really looking forward to this game. Well, I've not really been looking forward to many games since the Norwich game many months ago before Christmas. I've not really looked forward to many of them. But that's all part of being a fan, isn't it? And so anyway, he's read the team out and he says, Thomas. I'm thinking, Thomas? Isn't he a lad who plays in the, you know, and I says to him, and he says, yes, he said, apparently he's really good. So, because Tricky's a bit of a big Leicester fan, he does follow him all over the place. And, well, he's not following him any fucking way at the moment, is he? He ain't even following him out of Bristol. So that's where Tricky lives, Bristol. And, yeah. So anyway, I thought, oh, he's trying a bit of something new. Let's chuck some raw talent in and let's have a go. So I'm listening to the first bit on the way home, and like, it's Luke Thomas, everything, isn't it? He's doing really well. So you get home, and I've got it on delay, so I've caught up with the game and watched the game. And he did really, really well. He, I don't know whether it's because there was no crowd there. I mean, let's face it, he's not used to playing in front of big crowds as such. But he was brilliant. He's tackling, he's positioning, he's work off the ball, he's, you know, and let's face it, he created the goal in the first goal. It was a superb pass into Perez, and it was a good goal from Perez, because although it was a good pass as such, you know, it was good to see a Leicester player finding a Leicester player after the last fucking game. And you know, Perez had to dig it out from under his feet to put it away, and it was a really good goal. You know, and it just calmed Leicester down a bit. You know, it just made everything a little bit easier. But no, Luke Thomas was absolutely brilliant, and I hope he's one for the future. I think Brendan's got a knack of finding these little players, kind of thing, and, you know, developing them and bringing them on. I mean, he's brought Iheanacho on, and Gray's come on leaps and bounds as well. But back to the game, Barnes had been fouled a couple of times. You know, they were trying to get physical with Barnes in the first few minutes, and I don't know whether they've seen Barnes as a threat or something like that. So, you know, they let him know that they were there. But to be fair to Barnes, it didn't bother him. He carried on running and battling and everything through the game. It was good to see, and it was just nice that, I don't know whether the Brentford game, the Bourne could have been playing Brentford if we hadn't fucking sorted it out at the beginning of the season. Well, that's if Brentford don't come up. I don't know whether the Bournemouth game gave Leicester the kick up the arse that they so badly needed. I mean, it was, you know, mind you, then again, it weren't really a team fuck up, Bournemouth. He took Iheanacho off and it just went all tits up. So they just lost the shape and Bournemouth played better. But it just seemed to give them that kick up the arse that they needed. And as the game went on, you could just see Leicester were really in control of the game. They weren't really particularly worried. I mean, Sheffield had a few chances and, you know, they got close, but they didn't really create a lot. It was just a solid performance from Leicester. It was like Leicester of old. It was just great to see. It was just really, you know, I suppose when you think about it, Morgan, Brendan Rodgers has only been there just over a year as such. He's still building for the team. I'm disappointed on how Leicester City season has gone. But I'm not one of them shouting for Brendan Rodgers out. I think that would be a fucking stupid move. move to do. I honestly don't see anybody who we could replace him with. You know, you've got to have a manager who's going to want to come in and do stuff. And no manager's really going to want to be moving as such with the way the world is at the moment. So shut the fuck up about Rodgers out, right? Yeah, we're all disappointed. We're all sad, and you know, we were promising so much stuff, weren't we? We shouldn't really, the way we were playing at the beginning of the season, we shouldn't be really scrapping it out for third, fourth, or fifth. You know what I mean? We should have been qualified for Europe a couple of games ago, and for Champions League a couple of games ago. There's no qualms about it, or no fucking about there. That's what we should have done. But Rodgers is building for the future, and we've got to take that on board. It's to build a football. That's what he thinks. He's got more bite than bloody Maddison at the moment, and bark than Chilwell. So anyway, he's building for the future. So let's just give him a bit of chance. I mean, fuck me. I mean, how long has Klopp been at Liverpool? Granted, you know, I don't know what Klopp did in his first season at Liverpool, but it weren't very high, was it? It wasn't very high in the league, and Liverpool have stuck with him, and they've built on the foundations, and they've gone upwards. And that's what if you turn around to me and say in 5 years' time Rodgers will win the Premier League, well, what's the problem with that, lads? And girls, we've just got to wait. Football's, you know, there's a lot of good teams out there. When you're going to be competing against teams like Man City, who've got billions, and Liverpool, who have got a brilliant manager, you know, and Chelsea aren't short of a few quid, and then you're going to have Man United spending stupid money on players, and Arsenal are going to come back, and Spurs. I mean, if Spurs get rid of Jose, I'm sure they'll improve. But you know, there's a lot of teams out there who are good, and Leicester has just got to start building. We're building with the training ground, we're building to the extension, and all this is going to take time and money. And to be fair, as long as we don't end up like we did a couple of years ago in the Division 1, as long as we don't end up like Sunderland, as long as we don't end up like, you know, Leeds, who went down, and Forest went down, and they've struggled to get back, and, you know, Leeds are going to hopefully be back this year, because, you know, the Premier League needs teams like Leeds. So, anyway, back to the game. I've gone off on one there. What have I got here? I've got my notes here. Oh, I'm just going to talk about the fucking game, because I made notes, and you try to make notes, and June's talking, and it's a bit hard to do. The second half, we were brilliant. Again, we came out, we got the goal has given us the confidence. We've changed a few little things tactically. I thought, you know, we're better when we're counter-attacking. There was one bit where Barnes went through, and I think he was pushed. If that had been another team, either, you know, a team like in the north of England on the, you know, that bit who's got quite a big history. I don't mean Liverpool, I mean the other one, you know. I don't want to say United, but United, I'm sure that would have been a VAR and a penalty. You know what I mean? Because he did actually push him, Barnes in the back, and it put him off. So, but we just did really well in the second half, and Bennett was spreading balls around. We were looking to go through. Tillemans were just like knocking balls through. Schmeichel saved a shot. I can't remember who it was from, but it wasn't really a shot. More hit than played into it and went towards goal. But Schmeichel still reacted and saved. It's all good stuff. Chowdhury came on. I was thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, don't foul, don't rush in, because Chowdhury, no matter how good he is, he has got a tendency of rushing in, and we don't really want that. Mr. Chowdhury, Andre, or whatever, you can't remember your name. Oh, fucking shit with names, I can't remember them saying. And then anyway, on the 78th minute, we got the goal. It was a great ball out. I can't remember who put the ball through, but it was a great ball out, and Vardy ended up with it. And Vardy provided so much yesterday. He absolutely was running his socks off, in the old words of that, and he created, and he provided, and that's what a forward's job. It's not just to score, it's to create as well. So back onto the players. United came to bully Leicester, and they didn't do it. They just didn't do it. I think they had a game plan to try and ruffle us and huff and puff us, and they didn't do either. They just fucking got beat. I thought Fleck were fucking awful when he come on. I don't know what the fuck he were doing. Just Leicester were really up for it. They came in and they battled and they tackled and they blocked shots, and James Justin went fucking awesome. Really good. I think Bennett slipped in quite well. We didn't really miss Soyuncu, and that is not a bad thing, that's a good thing. It's just nice to know we've got depth in the squad. Morgan was just his normal self. I thought Tillemans were fucking good as well yesterday. That was the Tillemans we had last year, and it was fucking great to see. And Diddy was a rock. Perez played well, so that means he'll be shit in the next game, you know what I mean? Vardy's just Vardy. So that just now leaves us battling out for Champions League. I don't want Europa football. I do not want to be travelling. I won't be travelling, but I don't want to see Leicester travelling thousands of miles to go and play some shit team in some shit godforsaken country, Kazakhstan or whatever. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that disrespectful, but some of these teams in this Europa League are fucking awful places to go. The pitches are like playing on a fucking Saudi wreck, and I've played on Saudi wreck, and it's fucking awful. You have to go around getting dog shit off before the game, and that's what I don't want. We desperately need Champions League football, so we're not playing on a Thursday night, travelling thousands of miles, coming back and playing on a Sunday. It is not good for the club. Wolves managed to survive it this year. I have no idea how, but you notice most teams that play in the Europa League, when they come back, their fucking season struggles, and I don't want that. I'd rather just fucking go out the first round if that's the case. So well done, Leicester. It was nice to see, but now we've got the two games against Spurs and United. They are fucking massive games. Absolutely massive, and fortunately Man United's at home, so we'll have a good crowd, or rather we won't, and we'll go from there, folks. Hope you enjoyed this edition of For Fox's Sake, and see you soon. Laters.